I have similar, like I have really bad ADHD, and I get what you're saying, but then do you ever feel sad that you can't stay organized?
I do. I have. I feel shamed. I feel I have this like guilt. I have this urge. I feel like I really want to get organized. I
You just
feel
can't.
bad. Yeah, I feel so bad when I don't. But I just cannot get together. It's very hard.
Are you? And we're just talking about thoughts, but are there other areas of your life where you notice that your inability to focus shows up? I'll give you an example, and this is something that I don't really tell people, and I might cut this out because it's very personal to me. But ever since I was young, I'm a pretty disciplined person, right? But there's some things that I just can't wrap my head around. I've never been able to keep a room clean.
That's something personal.
Yo, it's I know it sounds funny, and it is a joke. Like, please laugh, but I'm at the point in my life where I'm 26 years old, and when I was a kid, my parents were yelling at me like, "Keep your room clean, keep your room clean." And I come from, my dad is super hyper anal, very organized, right? And I know it disappointed him that I never, but like to this day, I can't keep a room clean, and it's to the point where it's out of my control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try my hard. I just can't. I can't do it,
Yeah.
and
I
it
get
bothers me.
Yeah, same. I can't keep a room clean either. Like I can organize it
I
and
can't put
with
clothes where they need to. It's very.
no, yeah, same. It just it's not how my brain works, and I tried, and I also felt such a shame and guilt sometimes that I can't like get my files on my computer organized in the place I it's supposed, and it brings so much trouble later on when I wanted to find certain things, but I just can't. I can't do it.
How does that not make you sad? Right.
It does make me sad. It does make me feel like, oh, I'm not adequate for
You're not
this.
working at full efficiency.
Yeah. I'm not capable of doing this.
How do you get over? Because I'm talking as someone who's, I guess I'm asking for help, right? I see it in my work, like my work. I see it even in these videos that I make. There's no real formula. There's a formula to the video, right? But there's no formula to like the workflow, right? There's no like consistent way I do things. There's no consistent. It's just all this haphazard thing, and it hurts me sometimes at work, right? Like at work, I'll write notes on different sheets of paper in different places, right? How do you stay as quote unquote happy as you are dealing with that?
I mean, it's very hard. I have to learn that it's like a lot of the therapy sessions. I have to learn that I'm not capable of. It's just.
So you just have to write it off as it's just not me.
Yeah, just how my brain works is very different with others, and that doesn't mean I'm less worthy. It doesn't mean I'm less capable of than other people. Just I'm different. I'm different. Then there are strengths I can play into that, like my creativities and the ideas I have to lean in towards my strong suit. And for my business, I hire somebody else who's organized, who's do my Excel sheets. I don't do any of that. I just tell people what I want. You go figure it out.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to lean in towards your strong suit, and then you know your weakness, and you just kind of either accept that and find a way to have a workaround, find a solution for that to compensate that.
Yeah, I guess I still gotta figure that out. But yeah, that's been, the older I get, that's like the main point of contention, right? Is I suffer pretty drastically, right? Enough to keep me awake at night from such a high level of disorganization that even the thoughts sometimes are disorganized, right? You'll think not in a linear process. You'll think out of
my therapist told me that's the farmers the traditional academically, that's what you doing really well at school. You have to have that linear.
Is that why those kids do so good? I am so bad at school, right? Like I struggle so much at school, and
It's also because of the ADHD.
My
too.
mom used to want I used to drive my mom crazy, and it's hard when you have parents who aren't American because
Yeah, I get it.
you know exactly what I mean.
School's everything.
School's everything, and they don't believe you when you say like I can't
Right.
focus.
Right. Everybody else can
Why can't you? And like my parents, they tried to beat it out of me. So it was always one of those things. And so, you know, you go to the doctor and they give you a test, right, for ADHD, and you mark certain things. And whenever they think someone has ADHD, they always think it's the kid, at least in America. I don't know how it is in China. The kid who's like yelling a lot, or the kid who's really rowdy and things like that. But my doctor told me, you being from African parents, they probably disciplined you very severely. So you did all those things just in here, not out here. I was like, oh yeah. But to this day, the one thing that disappoints me, and it disappoints me because I think about my parents, is that I can't keep my room clean. Or like I can't keep my apartment clean. And the saddest part is I'm good at cleaning. I just can't keep things clean. And so it tears me up inside.
I got you.
Yeah.
You have to find a girlfriend who is the opposite of that.
Yeah, if I date a girl who's also like,
yeah.
But in kind of going into that, I worry though, because I'm someone who really does care about the well-being of other people. I would hate to be with someone who feels like they always have to pick up after me. You know? It would make me feel kind of like what you're saying, like unworthy. And because it's funny, you found someone who's incredibly disciplined, right? And he's just,
I mean, in a way, subconsciously, I feel like it's because I know myself enough. I know if I found somebody who's super artistic and who's kind of like me, it will never work. So subconsciously, that was his character. That part of him was really attractive to me because I know it will work out.
So
I learned how to survive because,
okay,
right? Like you find a way to like survive because this part of you doesn't work out the way as
it's not normal, because it's the way our society is built too. It doesn't favor people like us. Like I work in when I worked in construction, I felt I was performing my best. And whether or not I was from my boss, that's a whole different story. But I felt the most free, I guess, or I didn't have to. I'm not good at office work. That's what I'm getting. Like the idea of office work where you have to be very disciplined and ironically enough, I work in consulting. In consulting, you have to like bill your time. So I work in a very constrained kind of field, and to be in a constrained field, you have to be organized. So every day is kind of a struggle for me, and I'm wondering, do I kind of push through and power through, or do I try to figure out an alternative for myself? And I'm asking you as like a big sister who knows more than I do.
I don't think I know more than you do, but I think you kind of have to just test it out. You know yourself the best, and if you really tried, you tried really hard, and it's not working, then it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I think only you can answer that questions.
Yeah.